Good afternoon, professor and class. This is my final project. I chose to do project number 6, Stop What You're Doing and Listening. I believe it was called that. So the first thing I want to get into is the very broad spectrum of listening. There's 2 types. There's passive and active. Passive listening is when you're kind of listening and you're not really responding, you're just taking it all in and being very passive with your listening. And then active listening is when you're fully engaged and making verbal cues to let the speaker know that you're listening. So let's get into some demonstrations.
Noah, so today at work, I went to go sit in a different coworker's room, and my manager got so mad. It was ridiculous. Did you hear me?
No.
Yeah, I was really annoyed. Like, who cares where I sit and have lunch? I don't get it. Hey, how do you think I should handle it?
What were you saying today about work?
Oh, my coworker, she's kind of my manager, but she got mad at me because I went and had lunch with somebody else.
Wait, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Where'd you go sit?
With my other coworker. It was like the language arts teacher, I think it was.
And she got mad over that? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah. And what's funny is she doesn't even eat lunch with me, ever.
So,
I go in the teacher's lounge.
man, it sounds like you work with some difficult people.
Yeah. How do you think I should handle it?
Listen, you gotta ignore the problem and just tell her, you can come sit with me next time. So now that we talked about the 2 broad spectrums of listening, active and passive, I wanted to talk about more in-depth styles of listening. So there's 3 that I'm going to display in this video, and the 3 are informative listening, critical listening, and then empathetic listening. Informative listening is when you're listening for information and you're receiving it. So you're looking for specific cues and directions. Critical listening is when you're listening to perform an action afterwards. So you're listening to critical directions and stuff like that. Or you're taking notes on what the speaker is saying. And then empathetic would be when you're listening to someone and you're trying to really get in their shoes and feel how they're feeling. Like maybe you're talking to a friend about a breakup or something. So let's get into those. Avery, today I was learning the coolest thing about the digestive tract, and I actually wanted to tell you about it. So, I know you have your notepad ready for notes and stuff. This is awesome. So, the first thing, I'm going to talk about the order things travel through you when you're eating. So, you ready? The first thing, obviously they go through your mouth, Interesting thing about the mouth, actually, that's where carbohydrates first start to break down. Salivary amylase.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
All right. So, and then once they go through that, they go down your esophagus, of course, Then they hit your stomach. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they leave your stomach, they actually go into the small intestine first.
Oh, it's not the large intestine?
Nope. Small intestine. So, yeah. And then once it goes to the small intestine, you have the duodenum, jejunum, and then ileum. That's the 3 parts of the small intestine. That's all. And then it goes into the large intestine, which starts right down here. The large intestine is actually where your appendix is as well. So then the digestive, soon-to-be feces, travels up your ascending colon, across your transverse colon, and then down your descending colon. And then that's when it kind of hits near your rectum and your anus, and then that's when you have defecation. You got all that?
Yeah, thanks. That was really interesting.
No problem. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I just wanted to come console with you because the patient on the 5th floor in room 646, bed 2, she hasn't had a bowel movement in about a week and a half. And we gave her laxatives 8 hours ago. Before that, they gave her a little bit of laxatives 8 hours prior to that. Those haven't got anything moving. We've been trying some prunes. I know that's not an official medication, but we've been trying prunes. We've done everything, and I think we stand him up, we get him on the commode every once in a while, and he doesn't want to have a bowel movement for us. So what do you think we should do?
So based on the information, I would say that we should give him a suppository later tonight.
Okay. That's a great idea. I'll get that ball rolling for you. Thanks, Dr. Sherman.
No problem. Anytime.
Avery, I can't believe she broke up with me. We've been together for almost 3 years.
I know, it's a really long time.
And the way she did it too, the nerve to break up with me over email, saying she found
email?
somebody. Yeah, I swear.
That's
Saying she
messed
found
up.
somebody else.
I'm sorry.
What do you think I should do? Goodness.
I mean, if I were you, I'd just forget about her.
It's okay.
I would forget about her. She's not worth it. Someone that would do that over an email?
I know. Do you think I should beat up the new boyfriend?
Definitely not. You don't need to get arrested. You're going to school, you're working hard, you have a nice job. Don't let this girl ruin it.
Okay. I really appreciate your words. You're so kind. You're the best sister ever.
Thanks.
I just want my dog. Alright, so now that we've gone over the broad 2 types of listening styles, and then more in depth, the 3 in-depth styles, I wanted to talk about a couple of listening barriers, because that's important to talk about too when we're talking about listening. And the 3 I wanted to talk about were physiological, environmental, and then psychological. Physiological is something maybe that's a disability with somebody or something that somebody can't control. It's going on within them. An environmental distraction is something that's clearly going on in the environment. So maybe noise, background noise, or possibly like the way you guys are facing each other, not making direct eye contact, something that's physical, that you can see, that you can hear. And then a psychological distraction is something that's personal and in your mind, and you're kind of bringing yourself out of the element, and you're kind of affecting a conversation, which you never want to do. So let's get into those.
Hey, are you ready to go to our work meeting today?
Hold on, I can't even think straight right now. I have the gnarliest headache. I don't know why, I just woke up and it's killing me. What were you saying? What did you ask about?
Are you ready to go to our meeting today?
Oh my god, that's today. Okay, hold on.
Maybe try taking some Advil.
Yeah, I think, headaches can be a very negative thing in a conversation, and physiological, you can't control it. So how we're going to prevent this? I'm going to go take an Advil or an aspirin, and I'm going to come back and be ready for this work meeting. Thanks.
When do you have work today?
What did you say?
When do you have work? When do you have work today?
First of all, let me fix the way we're facing each other. I can't hear you when I'm facing you. What were you saying?
What time do you have work today?
Is that even... Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of this music, first of all. That might hinder a conversation. Sheesh. The way to overcome that is you got to turn it off, Mm-hmm. Okay, so what were you saying?
What time do you have to go to work today?
Oh, I work 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. I'll probably be home around 11:45.
Oh,
Sound good?
Yeah, it's good to know.
Okay.
Hey, you want to go grab some lunch?
Worst day today. What were you saying?
Do you want to go get some lunch?
I guess. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take my mood out on you. I just had a really crappy week, A really crappy week. I overslept for work on Tuesday. And then my girlfriend is trying to bring up all these problems that we have, and I didn't even know we had problems. And I'm not trying to I don't know, man. I just am overthinking everything. I'm really sorry. What were you saying about what?
Well, maybe
lunch,
we should go to lunch.
Lunch?
Maybe it might make you feel a little better.
Oh my goodness. I can't even listen to what you're saying right now. Like, dinner?
Lunch.
Okay, maybe some food in my system will work, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, you're getting a little hangry.
Okay, let's go get some lunch.
Okay.
Jeez. Alrighty, and there you have it. First, we talked about active and passive listening, broad spectrum, so that's passive listening. You're kind of just there. You're not really interacting with the speaker. Active listening, which is when you're giving verbal cues, you're acknowledging that the speaker is talking to you, and you're being very active as a listener. And then we talked about the 3 subdivisions of that, which is critical listening, empathetic listening, and informative listening. So, informative listening, you're listening for directions, you're doing stuff like that. Critical listening, which is when you're listening and you're analyzing everything the speaker is saying in order to get something out of it. And then you have empathetic listening, which is listening from your heart, really trying to feel what the speaker is saying. And then we talked about the 3 barriers: psychological, environmental, and then physiological. Hey, buddy. Environmental distraction right there. You can't get any better than that. And then you have a physiological barrier, which is something that's going on in your brain that you can't control, such as a headache or a mental illness. And then you have a psychological, which is, when you're not feeling it that day, quite frankly, you're sad, you're depressed, something's going on psychologically that you need to take care of. And those three things can really hinder conversations. So I really hope everyone that's watching this video could take away everything that I taught you about listening and start implementing them into your real life. And thank you for watching my presentation.